Let's see. Hi, it's me, Jordan Long here. And today I'm going to talk about, this one thing that happens. Well, first, it's not really a bad thing that happens, but it's something that does tend to happen. Okay, so, like I tell you many times why I don't work with any of the film shifting tools that I ever had. Now, I know some folks are going to say, well, Jordan, is there any film shifting tools that ever worked right? Well, ones that no, well, yes, and also no. And yes, I do know on Microsoft Windows 10 that there is a film shifting tool known as Film Editor. But then again, that's just Microsoft Windows Filmmaker under a unlike name, you know. But at the end of the day, it's all the same. Now, so anyway, here's how it is. Alright. So I just want to get that out of there before I could say something else. Alright. So a lot of folks always will ask me, well, Jordan, why do you do what... Okay. I don't know where I'm going with it. Sometimes I make a film and I have a thought what I'm going with it. But I'm not going to be one of those that writes something down and he goes, oh, well, now I can go back to it again. Alright. Let's talk about Jelly Combo. And I don't think we ever talked about the Jelly Combo or the Jelly Web Shooter, which most folks, I don't know if you ever heard of it or not. Some folks did, some folks did not. So we got the Jelly Combo last month, along with our HP Reckoners. And the Jelly Combo came first. And you might be thinking, that's what I'm working with to make all my films, working through the Microsoft Shooter tool, And yes, the Jelly Cam can film things in 1080p, which unlike Camcorder, the native video recorder, online video recorder, or social media capture, and unlike the Google Web Shooter tools that I worked with, they could not film things in 1080p. So that's why films look darker than they truly were, and that's why when more things were brighter than they truly were, didn't come out that way, especially lights. So, let's talk about this Jelly Combo. Ashley Williams. Yes. Sure, Jordan, let's talk about this Jelly Combo. I mean, it's a good web shooter, right? Yes, it is. You can make it go up and down. It's either on a stand, a tripod stand, or whatever you want to call it, that stand. So you can pick it up and film other things in the room if you wanted to. It does have a long reach, but don't get in your head that you can go outside the room, because I'm sure a reach will eventually, there's a endless to its reach. Well, did you ever, does it come with any film shifting tools? No, it does not. Even though it doesn't come with any of its own tools except the drivers that Windows has to work with to run the tool, and that's it. Doesn't come with anything else, even though the runner's book will tell you otherwise. But I think that's only if you didn't have any web shooting tool on your reckoner, then that might be true. So yeah. And hell, even the HP web shooters that I had back in the day could never film anything in 1080p either. They were doing DD and not DDHD. And someone's like, well, Jordan, are you telling us that all the other films you did at one point were in HD? Yes, they all were. Yes. All the films that I started doing on there at one point were HD, but they weren't 1080p HD. If that makes any, if that could make right, if you think of it, you know, you know. And another thing is, it runs very well. The only little downside is if you're making a film with the lights on, you get those lines going through it, which I don't understand what that's all about, but it is what it is, you know? There's nothing you can do about it. Well, if there's nothing you can do, if there's nothing you can do about that, but I still think it's a good web shooter. It's not worth as much as all the other web shooters you can get. You're right about that, actually. Jordan says, you know, it's not worth as much as the other web shooters, you know, and they work very well. You know, you wouldn't think they do, but actually they do. Is Jelly the name of the business? I believe Jelly is the name of the business. They only make web shooters and runners and rune boards, and that's it. That's as far as what they make. And all their stuff is driver ready, meaning the drivers are inside the tools and you don't have to use any driver discs. Which that's good, because you know the one hang up, Jordan, with driver discs are that the drivers on the disc might be out of date and no longer good, and you're going to end up getting the drivers from the maker anyway, so yeah, that is true. You know, very few things even run off driver discs anymore. And if you're wondering if Jellycam runs off of Microsoft Windows Vista 8, Microsoft Windows Vista 7, 8, 8.1, and 10, but it does. But most likely Vista 7, 8, and 8.1 are going to be dead soon, if not. Yes, it runs off of Apple's Macintosh OS. Just a few Apple Macintosh OS workers out there wondering if it'll work on that, it will too. But that's about it. I like it. It's a good web shooter. It does what I need it to do, and it works very well for something so small. You know, I wish I had something like this back in the day, but it is what it is. But I'm glad and happy I have it now. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.